Adi Shankaracharya belonged to the Uttara Mimamsaka school of Hindu philosophy, which is based on self-realization and jnana. Followers of this school are known as Vedantins, and Adi Shankara is considered the foremost exponent of the Advaita school of Vedanta. Mandan Mishra belonged to the Poorva Mimamsaka school of Hindu philosophy, which is based on karma. Followers of this school are known as Mimamsakas, and Mandan Mishra is considered the biggest name amongst them. Due to the fragmentation of the Vedic society in India, many smaller groups had been formed, and Adi Shankara's vision was to bring these different groups together and establish the Upanishadic way of life. Thus arose the desire to debate Mandan Mishra. So he travelled to Mandan Mishra's house in Maheshmati along with his 4 disciples. Mandan Mishra and his wife Bharati Devi, who is also known as Ubhaya Bharati and is a well-known scholar herself, welcomed Adi Shankara and his disciples. Shankara introduced himself as a sannyasi who had renounced everything and believed in the Vedantic way of life, that Atman is Brahman, which is the ultimate reality of this universe. He expressed his desire to debate with him to prove that the Vedantic path is superior and correct. Mandan Mishra was surprised at the courage of the young sannyasi, and at the same time he was confident about his beliefs, so he accepted the challenge. The rules of the debate are decided that Mandan Mishra and Adi Shankara would be the 2 parties of this debate, and Bharati Devi would be the judge to decide the winner. The proposition put by Adi Shankara was that Brahman is the ultimate reality of this world, that there is no multiplicity, only oneness of existence. The loser of this debate would become the disciple of the winner. Thus, if Shankara lost, he would give up his sannyas, get married, and start living the life of a householder. On the other hand, if Mandan Mishra lost the debate, he would become the disciple of Adi Shankara and start living the life of a sannyasi. The date of the debate was decided. On the day of the debate, the courtyard of Mandan Mishra's house was packed. The 2 contestants are seated facing each other with some of their disciples. Ubhaya Bharati entered the courtyard carrying 2 garlands made of jasmine flowers. As the fragrance of jasmine spreads all around, she walks up to each contestant and puts a garland around their neck. She announces that the debate is to be carried out in a disciplined manner, with no rising of tempers or hatred for each other. If any of them became angry, the garland would wilt, and that person would be declared the loser. The debate begins with Shankara's opening statement that Atman is Brahman, which is the ultimate reality of this universe. And when the veil of Maya is removed, we move from ignorance to knowledge and experience Sat Chit Anand, or eternal bliss, when pain and suffering are washed away. He gives the example of the clay pot and questions, can the clay be separated from the pot? Mandan Mishra begins the debate stating that a man makes his own destiny through karma. By living a disciplined life of virtues and performing one's duties, one can be liberated from pain and suffering in this life. You say there is Brahman, but I don't see God. I see my house, my family, and the people I feed every day. And you say this is Maya and not true? How do I believe that what I do not see is the truth and that God exists? Adi Shankara in his calm voice counters. The eyes do not always see the truth. There is air everywhere. Do you see it? So does it not exist? Can you see the fire that exists in the wood? Can you see the butter which is present in the milk? You see your shadow, but is that real? Mandan Mishra answers, I feel the air when it blows. When I touch my shadow, there is nothing. This is logical, but does not prove that God exists. The debate continues for many days. Both contestants attack and counterattack each other. Shankara explains that God is not an object which can be seen and not a concept that we can debate upon. God is an experience You have to look for him inside yourself. You have to awaken to this higher reality, which reflects in all souls. You have to go beyond your senses to see this reality. God is present in every drop, every particle of creation. You need the help of a guru who will help you experience God. Mandan Mishra is finally convinced. He stands up, puts his hands together, and bows his head and says, "O sannyasi, I am ready to become your disciple." And his garland wilts and falls to the ground. There is complete silence in the courtyard. Bharati Devi intervenes. She says, "O sannyasi, I am his ardhangini. I am half his life. So you have to debate and defeat me also to defeat Mandan Mishra." Adi Shankara is hesitant at first, but agrees, as he is aware that Bharati Devi is the incarnation of Ma Saraswati. Their debate begins and continues for a long time, and when Bharati Devi feels Shankara is getting better of the exchanges, she starts questioning him on Kam Shastra. Shankara is startled. He says, "O Devi, I am a sannyasi who is not aware of sensual pleasures which a man and woman experience." "Then you will have to concede defeat," says Bharati Devi. Mandan Mishra tries to convince his wife that her questions are not relevant or correct. Shankara then requests Bharati Devi to give him 30 days' time to come back and answer her questions, to which she agrees. Adi Shankar, along with his 4 disciples, moves into the nearby forest, and on the way, he comes to know of the death of King Amruk of a neighboring state. Shankara decides to enter the body of King Amruk through Yog Shakti, a technique called Parkaya Pravesh, while his disciples guard his body in a cave. He lives in the body of King Amruk and experiences family life and sensual bliss. On the 29th day, he exits the body of the king and re-enters his own body to return for the debate. Shankara explains that pain and pleasures are part of life. We indulge in these pleasures to forget our pains, but the pain still remains. Pleasures are temporary and dependent on somebody else. The pleasure of divine bliss is many times more than sensual pleasures. We must live our life like the wind, which carries the fragrance of flowers and also the bad smell of manure, but is not affected by any. We must live a life of inner renunciation, which will lead us to Satchit Anand, that is divine bliss, and moksha, emancipation from pain and suffering of this world. Obhaya Bharati finally declares Adi Shankara as the winner of the debate and accepts him as a Brahmgyani, a spiritual genius. It is said that she proceeds to Brahmalok, and Mandan Mishra becomes a sannyasi, a disciple of Adi Shankara, and is given the name of Sureshwaracharya.